Hello, friends. Welcome to Open University. In last class, we were discussing about rectifier. You see, what are the blocks present in a regulated power supply? A regulated power supply consists of rectifier. Then it consists of filter. Then there will be a voltage regulator. The input to the rectifier will be a pure AC signal, and the output of the rectifier will be pulsating DC, which is combination of AC plus DC. Okay, pulsating DC means mixture of AC and DC. This AC is unwanted. Okay, and what will be the filter input? AC plus DC, and this unwanted AC will be removed by the filter. So the filter output will be only DC, and that DC is not stable. This is unstable DC, that is I am calling as fluctuating DC. The output of the filter will be fluctuating DC. Okay, so filter will remove this unwanted AC component, and in the output only DC will be there, but the DC is not stable, that is fluctuating. Okay, and we require stable DC, and in order to get stable DC, we need to give the output of the filter to a voltage regulator. Then we will get a stable DC output, or also called as regulated DC output voltage. In the last videos, we were discussing about rectifier. Let's discuss about the filter. Give the heading. What is filter? What is a filter? We know that filter is a frequency selective network which passes some frequency and rejects some other frequencies. Okay, this is what we know about a filter. Okay, give the heading. The next block in the regulated power supply is filter. So what is a filter? Basically, it is a frequency selective network which passes some desired range of frequency and rejects some unwanted frequencies. This is what we know. But we use filter in power supply to remove the unwanted AC component. Okay, what are the unwanted AC component present in the output of the rectifier? In case of half wave rectifier, the unwanted AC component that are present was like omega naught, 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, etc. In case of half wave rectifier, these are the unwanted AC components. Okay, and in case of full wave rectifier, the filter should remove the unwanted AC components like 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, 6 omega naught, etc. Okay, so a filter should remove these AC components which is present in the output of the rectifier in case of half wave rectifier, and it should remove frequencies like 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, 6 omega naught, etc. in full wave rectifier. Okay, so take the definitions of some points regarding filter. So filter is a frequency selective network. A filter is a frequency selective network which passes desired range of frequencies, and rejects unwanted frequencies. Okay, and rejects unwanted frequencies. Take the next point. In power supply, in regulated power supply, filter is used to remove the unwanted AC component filter is used to remove the unwanted AC component which is present in the output of a rectifier. Okay, in regulator power supply, filter is used to remove the unwanted AC components which are present in the output of a rectifier. Okay, take the next point. Filter should remove AC components or frequencies like omega naught, 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, etc. in half wave rectifier. Filter should remove frequencies like omega naught, 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, etc. in half wave rectifier, and it should remove frequencies like 2 omega naught, 4 omega naught, 6 omega naught, etc. in full wave rectifier. Okay, filter should remove this frequency in case of half wave rectifier, and this frequency in case of full wave rectifier. Okay, take the next point. In power supply, filter consists of large inductors and large capacitors. Okay, in power supply, filter consists of large inductors and large capacitors. Large inductors means in some few Henry, okay, and large capacitors means in some microfarad or millifarad. Okay, in bracket, large inductor means in bracket you write some few Henry, and in case of large capacitor you write in bracket in some millifarad or microfarad. Those capacitors are very large capacitors. Then give the heading inductor filter. Give the heading inductor filter. Give the heading inductor filter. Okay, what is inductor filter? Inductor filter uses a large inductor in series with load in order to remove the unwanted AC component. Okay, so take one point. Under inductor filter, AC components can be removed or reduced by connecting a large inductor in series with RL. Okay, in series with the load resistance RL. So take one diagram how inductor filter removes the unwanted AC component. See, this is your rectifier. Okay, this is your rectifier. Okay, the input to the rectifier is a pure AC signal, and the output of the rectifier is your pulsating DC, that is nothing but AC plus DC. Okay, AC plus DC. I am writing like this. The input of the rectifier is a pure AC signal, pure AC input, and the output of the rectifier is pulsating DC. Now, how inductor filter removes the AC component which is present in the output of the rectifier? BAC plus BDC. AC components plus DC component is present in the output of the rectifier. Now, in order to remove the unwanted AC component, this inductor filter uses a large inductor in series with the load resistor RL. Okay, this is your load resistance RL, and this is inductance of the inductor. So the unwanted AC component can be removed or reduced by connecting a large inductor in series with the RL. This is your output voltage V0. Okay, this is your output voltage V0. Now this inductor and RL are connected in series so they form a voltage divider network. Since inductor and RL are connected in series, they are called as a they are in they are like a voltage divider network. Okay, now if you see, whatever SC component is present in the output of the rectifier, before discussing take another point. For proper filtering of AC components, inductance of the inductor should be selected such that its reactance should be much more greater than RL at ripple frequency. Its reactance XL should be much more greater than RL at ripple frequency. This is the condition of your inductor filter. Okay, in order to remove the AC components, the condition is the reactance of the inductor should be much more greater than RL at ripple frequency. So you can write, in case of half wave rectifier, what is the ripple frequency? Ripple frequency is omega naught. Okay, so what is XL value? Omega naught L. XL is omega L, so at ripple frequency it will be omega naught L has to be much more greater than RL. And in case of full wave rectifier, what is ripple frequency? 2 omega naught. So 2 omega naught L has to be much more greater than RL. This is the condition for your half wave rectifier, and this is the condition for your full wave rectifier. Okay. Take one point. Inductor and RL form a voltage divider network. Okay. Form a voltage divider network. Now what will happen? The output of the rectifier is pulsating DC, which is combination of AC voltage and DC voltage. Now if you consider only AC voltage, since the reactance XL of the inductor is much more greater than RL, so most of the AC voltage will drop across the inductor, because its reactance will be greater than RL. So very less amount of AC component will drop across the RL. So why most of the AC component will drop across the inductor? Because its reactance is greater compared to RL, and we know larger the reactance, greater will be the voltage drop. So most of the greater amount of voltage will drop across the inductor, and very small amount of voltage will drop across the RL. And if you consider the DC component VDC, then for DC we know that inductor becomes short circuited and the entire DC voltage will appear across the load. So in the output you will get a little amount of AC component and DC component. So take one point. AC component will almost appear across the inductor, because its reactance is greater compared to RL. Next point, DC component will appear across the load as it is. DC component VDC in bracket VDC will appear across the load as it is, because inductor becomes short circuit for DC source, because inductor becomes short circuit for DC source. So in the output, next point, so in the output of the inductor filter, a negligible amount of AC component and DC component will be present. So in the output of the filter, you will get some AC component, a little amount of AC component and DC component. Completely the AC component is not removed. A very little amount of AC component will be present in the output. So in the output of the inductor filter, a negligible amount of AC component and DC component will be present. Next, give the heading calculation of ripple factor. Under the heading of inductor filter, give the heading calculation of, we'll be doing some analysis, we'll be calculating ripple factor. What is ripple factor? It is the measure of amount of AC component present in the output. Okay, so here when you connect a filter, a inductor filter particularly, how much amount of AC component is present now, that calculation is nothing but ripple factor. So calculation of ripple factor. I will be calculating the ripple factor when a full wave center tap rectifier is connected with inductor filter. So take one point, consider a center tap full wave rectifier. Under this heading, write one point, consider a center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Okay, next write down another point. We know that the full wave rectifier is equivalent to a series combination of DC source and AC source. That is 2 Vm by pi, and this is minus 4 Vm by 3 pi into cos 2 omega naught t. We know that your full wave center tap full wave rectifier is equivalent to a series combination of DC source and AC source. Okay, now you give the output of this center tap full wave rectifier to an inductor filter. So connect the inductor in series with load. Okay, this part is your full wave rectifier, center tap full wave rectifier, and this part is your inductor filter. This is your output voltage V0, output of the inductor filter. I am connecting inductor filter with full wave rectifier. Now my interest is to calculate the ripple factor. Okay, calculating the ripple factor. Now what will be the current? This is your rectifier. What will be the output? Combination of AC component and DC component. Let this is IAC plus IDC, combination of AC components and DC components. Okay, And what is the formula for ripple factor? Ripple factor R is IRMS dash by IDC. Basically, it is the comparison between the how much AC component is present and with respect to DC component. Okay, I require IDC. For DC component, what will be IDC in this load? This is RMS value of AC component. RMS value of AC component present in the output, and this is the DC output current. Now, for DC source, when you apply only DC source, inductor will become short circuited, and IDC will be, what will be IDC? VDC by RL. So it will be 2 Vm by pi into RL. This will be your IDC. And in order to get IRMS dash, let first calculate what is I, what is IAC, okay, AC component through the load. IAC will be, what is the voltage? What is the AC component? VAC by, what is the reactance of inductor? XL plus RL. Okay. I equal to V by Z. You can write like this. I will be instantaneous current is VAC by XL square plus RL square under root. Okay. And we know that condition for inductor voltage XL magnitude must be much more greater than RL. If XL magnitude is much more greater than RL, then you can neglect RL. Then it will be VAC by XL. IAC will be VAC by XL. What is XL here? XL will be VAC by 2 omega naught L. My interest is to calculate what is the RMS value of this component. Okay, IRMS dash. IRMS dash. Your input is a sinusoidal signal. So the current AC component will also be a sinusoidal signal. So what will be the RMS value of this AC component? Maximum value by root 2. Maximum value by root 2. Maximum value of this current divided by root 2. This is your IAC. I require maximum value of IAC, or I can say what is IAC peak value. IAC peak will be VAC peak by 2 omega naught L. VAC peak by 2 omega naught L. What is VAC peak? What is the peak value of AC component? It is minus 4 Vm by 3 by, take the magnitude, that is plus 4 Vm by 3 pi into 2 omega naught L into 2 omega naught L. This is the peak value. Now I want RMS value of the AC component. IRMS dash is IM by peak value by root 2. Peak value by root 2. What is the peak value? 4 Vm by 3 pi into 2 omega naught L into root 2. To root 2. Now, if you divide, if this is your equation 2 and this is your equation 1, let it be. Now if you divide equation 1 and equation 2, you can get ripple factor. Ripple factor will be, what is IRMS dash? That is 4 Vm by 4 Vm divided by 3 pi into 2 into omega naught L into root 2. Okay, divided by what is IDC? IDC is 2 Vm by pi RL. 2 Vm by pi RL. Now Vm cancel. Okay, pi cancel. Okay, then it will be 4 times RL divided by 3 into 2 into 2, that is 12 root 2 into omega naught L into omega naught L. Then it will be RL by 3 root 2 into omega naught L. So the formula for ripple factor is RL by 3 root 2 into omega naught L. This is the ripple factor of your center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Ripple factor for center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. For center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Now from this formula of ripple factor, you can see that ripple factor is directly proportional to load resistance. Okay, ripple factor is directly proportional to load resistance RL, and we always require smaller ripple factor. How can you get smaller ripple factor? If RL is small, or if RL is small, then load current will be large. So this is the property of inductor filter. Okay, property of inductor filter. So take one point. Inductor filter will provide smaller ripple factor if RL is small, or load current is large. If RL is small or load current is large, then take the heading under inductor filter, DC output voltage. How much DC voltage is obtained in the output of the inductor filter? When you connect a inductor filter with your full wave rectifier, how much DC voltage you get? So the DC output voltage, give the heading DC output voltage of full wave rectifier with inductor filter. DC output voltage of full wave rectifier with inductor filter. With inductor filter. Now, what was VDCNL? What was VDCNL of your center tap full wave rectifier? I'm talking about only center tap full wave rectifier. What is the VDCNL value? It was 2 Vm by pi. 2 Vm by pi. And what was VDCFL? VDCFL was 2 Vm by pi minus IDC into R, or this R will be RF plus RSW by 2. I am talking about center tap full wave rectifier. What is the VDCNL value and VDCFL value? Okay, no load DC output voltage and full load DC output voltage. This is when load resistance is not present, and this is when load resistance is present. Okay, this is nothing but your DC output voltage. Now you see what is the equivalent circuit of your center tap full wave rectifier. This is the equivalent circuit. It is 2 Vm by pi, 2 Vm by pi minus 4 Vm by 3 pi into cos 2 omega naught t. Now you connect your center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter, and my interest is to calculate the DC output voltage of the full wave rectifier with inductor filter. How much DC output voltage is obtained? This DC output voltage, VDC, I want to get when I am connecting inductor filter with full wave rectifier, how much DC voltage I am getting. You know, the output of the full wave rectifier is combination of AC component and DC component. Okay, then can you say how much DC will be obtained in the load? Whatever DC will be present here, the same DC voltage will appear across the load, because for DC source your inductor becomes short circuited. For DC source your inductor becomes short circuited. So what is the DC output voltage of your DC output voltage of full wave rectifier with inductor filter? It will be the same DC voltage will appear across here. So the DC output voltage is 2 Vm by pi. This DC voltage is 2 Vm by pi. This is for ideal case. For ideal case. And practically, how much DC will be obtained here? In practically, DC output voltage will be 2 Vm by pi minus IDC into R. Okay, this voltage. Okay, this is the maximum DC voltage. This is the DC voltage when you connect load resistance. So this voltage I am talking about. Where here only one change will be there. R will be, what was R here? RF plus RSW by 2 plus R of inductor, internal resistance of inductor. There will be some, what is this part? This part is your internal voltage drop, DC drop, internal DC drop. Okay, if you subtract VDCNL from internal DC drop, you will get VDCFL or DC voltage. Now additionally, okay, additionally what will happen? Along with RF and RSW by 2 term, some R of IND, internal resistance of inductor, will be there, because some if inductor has some internal resistance, okay, then there will be some drop across the, some DC drop across the inductor. This is for practical case. Okay, for practical case. Practical case. You need to remember both the formula. This is when ideal means when the diode is ideal, means RF is 0, and secondary winding also ideal, means RSW is 0, and inductor is also idle, means R indeed term will be used, then only this formula can be useful. If diodes and secondary windings and your inductor is not idle, then you can use this formula. DC output voltage of full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Okay, DC output voltage of your center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. The same formula you can use. The same formula you can use for bridge rectifier also. If you connect bridge rectifier instead of center tapped rectifier, if you connect a bridge rectifier in series with your bridge rectifier with a inductor filter, then the DC output voltage formula will be same. In ideal case and practical case will be same, except this R will be changed. Okay. In center tap full wave rectifier, this RSW, in bridge rectifier, this RSW term was not there, and R was 2 times RF. Now here R will be 2 times RF. There will be no RSW term plus R of inductor. This is when you connect bridge rectifier with inductor filter. This is when you connect center tap full wave rectifier with inductor filter. So you need to remember these two. And the formula for your bridge rectifier with inductor filter, the ripple factor formula was same. Okay, I am giving formula. This is for your center tap full wave rectifier as well as 3 to omega naught L. Okay, for center tap full wave rectifier as well as bridge rectifier with inductor filter. So those formulas are same for full wave, for any kind of full wave rectifier, whether it is center tap or bridge rectifier, except here in case of DC output voltage, R will be 2 RF plus R of inductor. Take one question on this full wave rectifier with inductor filter. Take one question. Take one question on full wave rectifier with inductor filter. A full wave rectifier uses an inductor of 4 Henry. A full wave rectifier uses an inductor of 4 Henry in series with a load of 400 ohm. Okay, a load of 400 ohm. If secondary voltage with respect to center tap, is 60 volt RMS, and line frequency is 50 hertz, then calculate the ripple factor, and DC output voltage. Then calculate the ripple factor and DC output voltage. What are the data given? It is given that a full wave rectifier uses a inductor of 4 Henry. The inductance of the inductor is 4 Henry. Okay, and it's connected in series with a load of 400 ohm. Means RL is 400 ohm. 400 ohm. Okay. If secondary voltage with respect to center terminal or center tap is 60 volt RMS. Okay, is 60 volt RMS means this is your center tap transformer. Okay, this voltage is given to be 60 volt RMS. with respect to center tap. This is also 60 volt RMS. What is this value? Nothing but Vm by root 2 is given to be 60 volt. Then what is Vm is given? Vm is 60 into root 2, that will be 84.8 volt. 84.8 volt. We can obtain Vm from this data. It is asked to find out the ripple factor and DC output voltage. Okay, ripple factor and DC output voltage. What is the formula for ripple factor? Formula is R equal to RL by 3 root 2 into omega naught L. R equal to RL by 3 root 2 into omega naught L. What is omega naught? Omega naught equal to 2 pi f naught. Okay, RL value is 400 ohm divided by 3 root 2 into 2 pi into f naught is, what is the input frequency or line frequency? Line frequency is nothing but input frequency. Okay, input frequency is also called as line frequency. So 2 pi into f naught is 50 hertz into 50 into L is 4. If you calculate, this will be 0.075. 0.075. There will be no unit. Okay. So when you connect your center tap full wave rectifier, the ripple factor earlier was 0.483 without any filter. Now it is reducing to 0.075. Okay, now it is reducing from 0.483 to 0.075. Next question is asked to find out what is the DC output voltage. Okay, we can use the formula 2 Vm by Vd is equal to 2 Vm by pi. Minus IDC into R you cannot use because RF value is not given, RSW value is not given, and R of inductor is not given. So you can directly use here. So 2 into what is Vm? 84.8 volt divided by pi. This will be 53.9 volt. The DC output voltage is 53.9 volt. Take one point, take a note, take a note. Okay. For a full wave rectifier, with any filter, for a full wave rectifier with any filter, comma, ripple factor lies in the range 0. Not 0 point, lies in the range 0 to 0.483. Okay, lies in the range. Full wave rectifier with any filter, the ripple factor lies somewhere between 0 to 0.483. Okay, and in half wave rectifier, ripple factor lies in the range 0 to 1.21. 0 to 1.21. 0 to 1.21. That means if you will not connect half wave rectifier with any filter, what will be the ripple factor? 1.21. But if you connect with half wave rectifier with some filter, then your ripple factor will be somewhere between 0 to 1.21. It will be reduced. Okay. means AC component will be removed by the filter. That's why ripple factor gets reduced. Then give the heading capacitor filter. Next heading, next type of filter is capacitor filter. Capacitor filter. Give the heading capacitor filter. Capacitor filter. How capacitor filter can remove AC component? Okay, take one point under capacitor filter. AC component can be removed. AC component can be removed by connecting a large capacitor in parallel with RL. By connecting a large capacitor in parallel with RL. See, this is your rectifier. Okay, this is your rectifier. The input is pure AC and the output of the capacitor is pulsating DC. Now it is pulsating DC means combination of AC plus DC. Now if you connect capacitor filter like this way by connecting a large capacitor in parallel with RL, this is the capacitance of the capacitor and this is the RL. This is your capacitor filter. Okay. Draw this diagram, rectifier. This is your rectifier. So the AC component can be removed by connecting a large capacitor in parallel with RL. Next, take one point. For proper filtering, a reactance, or write like this, for proper filtering, capacitance of the capacitor should be selected such that its reactance XC should be much more smaller than RL, at ripple frequency. This is the condition for capacitor filter. We have to maintain this condition. Okay. What was the condition for inductor filter? XL has to be much more greater than RL. Now in capacitor filter, XC has to be much more smaller than RL. At ripple frequency. Okay, in case of a half wave rectifier, what is ripple frequency? Omega naught C. X is 1 by omega C. So 1 by omega naught C has to be much more smaller than RL. In case of full wave rectifier, what is ripple frequency? 2 omega naught C. X is 1 by omega C. So at ripple frequency it will be 1 by 2 omega naught C has to be much more smaller than RL. This is the condition of half wave rectifier with capacitor filter and full wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Okay, now capacitor and RL are connected in parallel, so what will happen, whatever the current will come, they will be divided. Okay, so capacitor and RL form a current divider. Okay, capacitor and RL form a current divider. Write down that capacitor and RL form a capacitor and RL form a current divider. Capacitor and RL form a current divider. That means what will happen, output current of the rectifier, that is nothing but AC plus DC, will get divided between capacitor and RL. Take the point, output current of the rectifier in bracket IAC plus IDC gets divided between capacitor and RL. Now what happens, since reactance of capacitor is much more smaller than RL, whatever AC component will come to this point, it will pass almost through the capacitor because its reactance is much more smaller compared to RL. So this path, the entire AC component will pass through the RL. Okay, very negligible amount of AC component will flow through the RL. Okay, so in the output a little amount of AC component will be present, and this DC component will pass directly to the load, because for DC capacitor becomes open circuited, so in this DC component will pass to the load RL. So in the output of the filter, you will get a little amount of AC and DC. So take the point, DC component, or next the point, AC component IAC will flow almost through the capacitor because its reactance is much more smaller than the RL. Take the next point, DC component IDC will directly flow through the RL. Because for DC capacitor becomes open circuited. Take the next point. So in the output, a negligible amount of AC and DC component will be present. A negligible amount of AC and DC component will be present. Next, give the heading analysis of half wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Give the heading analysis of give the heading analysis of half wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Step down transformer. This is your diode. Okay, I am connecting a capacitor like this. Primary side has number of turns N1, number of turns N2, and N1 is greater than N2. This is your input voltage Vi, which is Vi is Vm sin alpha, or alpha is omega naught t. This is your pure AC. Input is pure AC. Draw the input waveform. This is alpha. This is 0, pi, 2 pi. This is 3 pi. This is Va. This is your Va. Let's understand the operation of the half wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Let initially assume capacitor is not charging, it is discharged capacitor, its voltage is 0. Initially assume that capacitor is discharged, its voltage is 0. Now what will happen? Now when input voltage is positive, when Vi is positive, what will happen? Diode will be forward biased and short circuited. Then what will happen? Capacitor will charge, okay, through the diode up to the maximum voltage Vm. So I am drawing directly the output waveform. Okay, capacitor will immediately charge to the output waveform up to this. It will completely follow the input voltage, capacitor voltage Vc. Let this be Vc. The capacitor voltage will be same as Vi. It will almost follow. It will follow the input voltage. Capacitor will charge up to peak input voltage. Let this time is T1. Maximum input is maximum. Let this time is T1. So from 0 to T1, when alpha is in between 0 to T1, or you can say instead of alpha, say T. When T is in between 0 to T1, when T is in between 0 to T1, your diode is forward biased and capacitor will charge up to peak input value. Okay, up to peak input value. Now what will happen? From in this interval, okay, in this time interval, input voltage will be less than the capacitor voltage. Okay, what is the capacitor voltage now? Vm. Now when input voltage is less than capacitor voltage, this side is more positive compared to this side, then diode will be open circuited. Okay, diode will be open circuited and capacitor will discharge its energy through RL. Then capacitor voltage will discharge. Since RL is a very larger value, so the discharging time constant will be large and capacitor will discharge very slowly. Capacitor will discharge like this. Okay, let this time be t2. So when time is in between t1 to t2, capacitor will discharge. Then what will happen? This is the capacitor voltage. The red color is the capacitor voltage. Okay, capacitor voltage is decreasing like this. Okay, now when input voltage is again exceeds the capacitance voltage, then what will happen? Diode will be forward biased. Again capacitor will charge to peak input value. Again it will follow the, it will charge up to peak input value. Then input voltage will decrease compared to capacitor value. Then capacitor will discharge through RL. So this will be the output waveform. V naught or VC is same. V naught is nothing but equal to VC. So this is the waveform for VC or V naught. V naught output waveform or VC. The red color is the output waveform or nothing but VC waveform. Now this T12, let this be T3. Okay, from T2 to T3 again capacitor will charge. T3 from 0 to T1 capacitor will charge. From T1 to T2 capacitor will discharge. Okay, why it is taking more time to discharge? Because RL is very larger value, so discharge time constant C into RL will be very large, so capacitor will slowly discharge. But charging time constant is very small. Okay, charging time constant is almost 0, so it will immediately charge to input value. Okay, immediately charging time is very small, but discharging time is very large. So if you see, from this time to this time, peak to peak, one peak to another peak, this is one time period, peak to peak is one time period. So in one time period capacitor will discharge once and charge once. So in one time period T naught, in one time period T naught, which is sum of discharge time period plus charging time period. In one time period T naught, this is your T naught, this to this is your one time period. In this time period is sum of discharge time period plus charging time period. Okay, since the charging time period is almost very small amount, so I can say your discharge time period is almost equal to the time period. So T naught approximately T discharge. T naught approximately T discharge. What is the maximum value of output? Maximum output is Vm. Okay, maximum output is Vm. And what is the minimum output voltage? Let during discharge interval capacitor voltage is reduced by V gamma amount. V gamma. Not V gamma, it is Vr. Vr. So the capacitor is reduced by an amount Vr. So this will be Vm minus Vr. During discharge capacitor voltage is reduced from Vm to Vm minus Vr. What is Vr? Vr is peak to peak ripple voltage. Vr is peak to peak ripple voltage. Maximum value to minimum value. So Vm minus Vr is your minimum output voltage. So maximum can write maximum output voltage is maximum V naught equal to Vm, and minimum V naught equal to Vm minus Vr, not V gamma, it is Vr, peak to peak ripple voltage. Peak to peak ripple voltage. Peak to peak ripple voltage. During discharge interval, capacitor voltage is reduced by an amount Vr. Okay, so it becomes, at this point it becomes Vm minus Vr. What is Vr? Vr, write down, Vr represents peak to peak ripple. Vr represents peak to peak variation in the output. Vr represents peak to peak variation in output, or it is called peak to peak ripple voltage. Vr is also called peak to peak ripple voltage. Okay, in the next lecture, in the next video, we'll be calculating some formulas of your half wave rectifier with capacitor filter. Some formulas like what is this peak to peak ripple voltage, what is ripple factor, what is DC output voltage, what is average current through the diode, what is the peak current through the diode, what is the angle of conduction. Okay, all these points will be discussing in the next lecture. So thank you, and please subscribe to my channel. Okay, in the next video we'll be discussing those mathematical formulas.